Alright, hello everybody, A-Trip here, how we all doing? Thank you for any new subscribers as of recently. It's time for me to go to work, head on to work so we can check out some of these nice, beautiful fields as they're growing, and I guess we're going to talk about how I came to be, how I got here, how I became a motorcyclist, and forgive the bug splatter here. Now let me put my windscreen down, maybe a little bit better. Let me forgive me for the bug screens thing here. This is obviously a definite attraction to bugs because none of my other motorcycles have gotten this bad. So, and I've personally never been one really good to clean my vehicles. So anyway, I guess we're gonna have to detract or rewind back many years, as in multiple decades, I guess. So as with everyone growing up, or most people growing up, started out on a bicycle. Obviously real young kid starting on a bicycles, riding around, and then whatever, just normal kid, fun times, riding around the block or wherever I might have been riding around at the time. But then I got a little bit older. I'd say teenage years. As soon as I kind of hit my teenage years, that's when I'd say, at least as far as being on two wheels, the bug really hit me. That's when I really started riding my bike, getting lost like all over creation, like ending up towns over, like, oh crap, sorry mom, I'm gonna be late for dinner, I don't even know where I'm at, kind of thing. And then like I will admit my memory is basically non-existent, so I'm not exactly, the timeline could be a little off, but we had gone to, my dad, the company he used to work for, would always have conventions in whatever, different states and whatnot to do work things, and then my mom or myself, my brother, the kids, whatever, they would, whatever, have things for them to do or whatnot. So this one year we went, the activity that we had to do, or was going to do, was going mountain biking. Now this is where the timeline's screwy. I can't remember if I had literally just gotten a mountain bike and then I saw that it was sweet, like I wish I could take my bike but I can't, or if I got one immediately after I got back. Because essentially that, once again, is when kind of the bug really hit, like I want to, like, you're telling me I can ride all over creation and go off-roading? I want to start mountain biking. So I started mountain biking quite a bit, still riding a lot. I had and then I had much older, I was much older. This was after a move and move back and all that type of stuff. I decided I wanted to try and save money by getting rid of my car. So I got rid of a car. It was riding my mountain bike to work. It was about 14 miles one way at the time, and then I was working at Meyer overnights produce, breaking down the produce load. So it was definitely probably one of the times I was in the best health of my life. But I was riding all that, and then it was wintertime was kind of approaching, and figured, okay, this might not be a great idea. I don't want to have to rely on my parents giving me a ride or borrowing their car, especially since it's midnights and I don't even want to ask because whatever. So I ended up getting I think this is when I got a car from one of my friends from work. Started driving that for a little bit, and then decided again that, like, it came to the point in my life where if we rewind back once again forever, I could tell you that my mother, when she was much younger, her brother, when he was about 19, was killed on a motorcycle. So obviously the whole fact of bringing up wanting to ride or getting a motorcycle, any of that, was kind of a non-starter for the longest time of my life. But then, like I said, fast forward many years until about 2011, 2012, I decided, you know what, this is stupid. I want to ride. This is something I really want to do. I've always fantasized about being, used to always fantasize about being like an off-road racer or motorcycle, going trail riding and motorcycles and stuff like that. But like I said, it was a non-starter. But it got to the point where, like, you know what? I'm almost 30 years old, or was 30 years old at the time, whatever it was. It's like, I want to ride. So basically, kind of just told my mom, you know what? Forget it. I want to get a motorcycle. Let's get a motorcycle. And actually, she actually helped me in a way to co-sign on that first bike. It was a 2006 Honda Reflex. Got it at the same dealer that I've bought all of my bike, well, except for two. I've bought all my bikes and keep on going back there for more. So I got this thing. Obviously, then I kind of did it the backwards way, I guess, because I bought this scooter before I had a license or anything. Maybe rode it in the subdivision once real quick. But then I went on to do the MSF class to get my license. I ended up doing like a walk-in because they fill up, the classes fill up instantly. And then when I looked, like, obviously they're already full. So I tried, it said something about a walk-in, so I tried to do a walk-in, and surprise, surprise, like, it worked. Did my class, went up to go get my license and all that. Then it was kind of all over for a little while. Started riding. I was probably beginner, tentative, scared, not very good. But then started to warm up and taking a longer rides, or something that I would have normally taken my car. Like, you know what, I'm going to take the bike instead. So started riding that stuff. And then it came to, okay, winter's coming again. This was probably, oh yeah, because I had gotten rid of that other car. So once again, this time, I believe I only had the, I think I only had the scooter. Because, like I said, my memory is absolute hot garbage. I've owned about 11 cars, a couple of them at a time. But at this time, I think it was when I was like, brilliant idea, let's get rid of a car, let's start riding my bike to work. Like, okay, winter's coming, I better get a car. Like, okay, like, no, I want to ride again. Let me ride. Winter's coming, I'm gonna have to get a car. So I did the stupidest thing, and then I ended up trading my scooter in at the local hot rod shop for a 1990 Mustang LX Fox Body 5-speed 5.0, and I loved it, but that thing was kind of a piece of shit. So I had that for a little while, and then whatever, like, keep on telling the same story. Winter was coming along. It's like, what the fuck did I get a Mustang for? And like, this is where my memory gets foggy, because I can't remember if I got it right away or not. But I ended up getting Jeep, and obviously, like, I had traded that scooter in for the Mustang. So I was no longer riding or anything like that. I was here in Illinois like I am currently. At the time I had moved here in 2006, before any of this happened, was trying to kind of watch over, take care of my mom, so to speak. But then, whatever, got the scooter, rode around for a couple years, stopped riding for a while. Fast forward to about 2013. I moved again, figured it was okay, my mom's better, I'm gonna move. My friend had just bought a house in Michigan, so I went to go move in with him. So I was there for a little bit, till he ended up, whatever, leaving, and I had to real quick find another place to live, bought a trailer, sitting there for a little while, decided to myself, you know what, this is really, really dumb. I want to start riding again. And what was even dumber is I did not transfer my motorcycle license when I moved from Illinois to Michigan that time. So I had to go through the entire process again. But me being me and stubborn and everything, it's like, okay, I've already done this whole MSF class. I've already rode. I know how to ride. And then I found out that you could actually take the test on a 50cc. So that's ended up what I was planning on getting, just to get riding again and to get something cheap. So I ended up buying like a little Chinese Tao Thunder 50cc scooter. And I guess before you say anything, that thing was actually pretty damn good. It lasted me quite a while before I actually sold it, and it was still fine. I just sold it because at that time, like when I bought that, that's the time when I sold my Mustang for stupid cheap, way cheaper than I should have, just so I could get rid of it, get it out of my driveway, and then I could get going on getting a motorcycle. So ended up buying that 50cc thing, tooling around on that, commuting to work for quite a while. Like I ended up having probably about 5,000 miles on that thing, or 9,000 kilometers, whatever it was, before I sold it. So yeah, like I said, Chinese scooter, I put on 5,000 miles on it easy. Couple stupid breakdowns where like the coil plug popped out, something like that, or like the relief valve for the fuel unloosened and was letting out fuel. But I had that for quite a while, and then it ended up like, okay, it's time to get something better, get something bigger. Was it at first looking at little like Chinese dual sports, those that Hawk bike, if you've heard of it. I was looking at those things because they had them at the same place where I bought this little 50cc, but it's like, nah, we're gonna get another scooter. I started looking at the dealership where I had bought the Honda Reflux here back in Illinois, and ended up deciding on looking at a Benelli Zaffarano scooter 2018. So this was before the pandemic, the old coronavirus and all that stuff. But I ended up calling them on the phone and purchasing this bike over the phone and through emails, like without even going to the shop. Like, once again, stupid. I didn't even sit on the bike. I had no idea about anything about it other than seeing what it looked like and the price and all that. So I bought the bike over the phone and all that stuff, and then once again, it's like, okay, this was dumb. I don't even know if I can fit on this thing. So I found another dealership in Michigan that had one. So I went out there just to basically sit on it. Found out, well, okay, this should work, so no problem. Then the dealership delivered the scooter to me in Michigan from Illinois. And then it was kind of after that, once again, it was really game over. Like, totally riding, like, I basically, since the whole 50cc scooter thing in 17, I haven't stopped riding. So I got the Benelli Zaffarano scooter, still have that to this day. I couldn't tell how many miles on it because its speedometer broke in 2019, like a year later, at about 5,000 miles. So, like, I probably have 14, 15, 16, 20,000 miles on that. I don't know. And currently it's out of commission because it had a small leak. So I decided, me being me, like, story of my life, I'm broke. Like, I've basically always lived my life just barely making enough money to pay my bills and put a tiny bit of food in my stomach type thing. Or maybe, obviously, I've wasted some money. I wouldn't call this wasting money, but there's things I've definitely wasted money on, or could have been smarter with my money on some things. But we all got to live our lives. We all have our vices. Whatever money I've made has been just enough to afford my lifestyle of living. So I had that 2018 Zaffarano for quite a bit, and then I don't know what spurred the idea or whatever. I decided I wanted another one, but I wasn't gonna trade that in. So, like, I ended up picking up a 2009. I think it was a 2009 Yamaha T-Max. That thing was an absolute beast, or I thought at the time. Like, now, after getting on some of these other bikes, it seems like it might not be as quick as I thought it would. It might have just sounded quicker, but that being said, it was still quick, and it was probably the best handling bike I've ever had, even though it was a scooter. So I had that for, once again, had both of those scooters for quite some time. Like, after whatever, having the Chinese one and the Benelli for a while, I bought the T-Max and had both of those for a while, riding around on it, and the T-Max started kind of kind of eating itself. Like when I bought it, it had ball, like completely 100% ball tires. I can't remember if I think one of the mirrors was missing or broken or something. I ended up buying a mirror, I ended up buying an air filter, I ended up buying brand new tires, and then like the kind of crapped out on me once, like just basically wouldn't move anymore. So I had to take it in. I had a bunch of ultra expensive transmission work done to it, dropped it off at a dealer in Michigan to do this. And then kind of came time again to a family emergency. Had to move again, had to come back here to Illinois. Meanwhile, my bike was in the shop, and I had already started the process of moving and getting some of my stuff here, and trying to call them like, all right, you guys basically, if you guys are done or not, like, I'm leaving on June 30th, like, and I'm never going to be back again. I need this bike. So I ended up like picking it up like they had just finished it or said they just finished it. So rode it for a couple times, and then it started leaking again. I can't remember if I think I did fix it. I think I might have fixed it again, took it to an Yamaha dealer here and had it fixed again. But at that point it was kind of like, okay, this thing is awesome, but it's gonna bleed me dry. This is gonna cost too much money. So I had the idea of going back to the same dealer. I traded this Yamaha T-Max in for a 2015 Zero S electric motorcycle. Once again, this thing was, how can we put this? I'm not against the electrification or electric motorcycles or anything like that. It was actually kind of awesome, and if I were to get another one, I would get another Zero, and probably not some of these other ones. I think this new Honda WN7 that's coming out is kind of a piece of shit. It looks sweet, but once again, it's just like the Kawasaki hybrid ones. It's nowhere near enough mileage or anything like that for the money that they're asking. It's like $14,000 or something like that, and you're only going to get like 60, 70 miles out of range out of it. That's stupid. Which, I mean, I guess the whole argument definitely still could be, like I keep saying, they need the charging stations and stuff like that in order to sell all these motorcycles and cars and stuff like that, but you can't afford to put up those charging stations unless you make money from selling vehicles or get grants or all that type of stuff. So this is a whole nother topic, whole nother video. But so I got that 2015 S, rode it quite a bit. I actually had a decent amount of time to it. My easiest way to say would be 1% per mile drain is the easiest way you can say how some of these electric bikes work. But the problem I had with it, the front end of it felt real whack and weird to me. It felt kind of dead. It felt like there was a cinder block, a rolling cinder block on your front end. There was like no feel from it. It's like kind of, I don't know, it handled better quicker than it did slow. You could tune some of the suspension, but I have no idea what I was doing. I fiddled with the suspension a little bit, made it feel a little bit better, but it just felt whack to me. And it was another one where after I first got it, it would only charge to 80%. It was something was going on with it. Took it back to the dealership, and then bless this dealer, bless Zero Motorcycles. They ended up putting in a brand new battery and a brand new BMS in the thing, and it ended up being actually a larger battery than what was already in the first place, which would have been the larger battery to begin with for that year of the motorcycle. So they ended up putting the newer 14.4 battery in there and a BMS, but I mean it still would not charge all the way, and that front end dealing with, I ended up deciding, once again, I make a lot of split-second decisions. I decided, okay, I don't want to deal with trying to pour a bunch of money into this thing, getting brand new tires or getting a suspension soon or something to try and fix this front end. And other than that, the bike was beautiful. And they gave me, when it was getting fixed, they gave me a loaner of a Zero FXE, the what do you call it, the Supermoto kind of Zero. That thing was unfucking believable. That thing was awesome. I guess like that, maybe my T-Max wasn't the best handling bike, because that one was good and the next bike that I got was really good, but that thing was unbelievable. But it was only the 7.2 battery, so that's one of them where you are only going 67 miles range, and then you're talking about the same price as that Honda that I said I wouldn't go with. So I got rid of the Zero. I traded that in for a 2021 Benelli TRK 502 adventure bike style. So I had two Benellis at the time, the scooter and this one. Once again, that was I kind of dug that bike. That was a really good bike. There wasn't really any reason why necessarily where I wanted to get rid of that one other than this one popped up. And then I kind of figured, you know what? This is kind of one of those golden goose scooters that you kind of have to own, or I have to own. Like, I guess Bergman probably would be another one, but now after hearing more so about how much those things can cost exploding transmission, like, I have no interest in a Bergman anymore. But now I got the other than the T-Max, I got the other Supreme scooter, I guess you could call it. So that's why I traded in the TRK. Otherwise, that thing was pretty damn good. It was but once again, like right after I got it, the rear brake started locking up and ended up taking out the brake pads, and just that's when I really learned better. I guess probably learned a lot better how to ride with just my front brake, because I had no rear brakes until I got that fixed and took it back to the dealer, and once again they kind of fixed it for free. This has been a really good dealer to me. And then this one, after I first got it, noticed that the front suspension was leaking, so took it back to them, and they ended up kind of doing that for kind of like a cost thing. They didn't charge me full price for it, so it was quite a bit cheaper to get the front shocks done on this one. And then, so now we are here, present day. I still have the Benelli Zaffarano, but like I said, that's going to be out of commission for a year, at least, until I get brave and decide maybe I want to work on it myself or whatnot. But figure, once again, I'm broke as shit. Mom passed away a couple years ago, bought a house after that, so I got property taxes and all that stuff. Already made the first one's in June, but the next one's coming up in September. Then I'm basically, as usual, I'm freaking out how I'm going to afford any of this stuff, because I got registration on this one, registration on my van next month. It's raining fire of bills coming my way, and like I said, I don't make much money at all. So here we are, present day, on the 2005 Honda Silverwing. Currently we have 11,865 miles. I bought it at about 8,200, so I've already put on approaching 4,000 miles on this thing pretty quickly, and probably going to be many more. So I guess my bullet points, my riding career would have kind of started in 2011, 2012, but I only rode for probably not too long before I got rid of it. Didn't ride for a few years until I decided, after I moved again, you know, forget this, I need to start riding again. So since 2017, it's been non-stop. And then rewind, the bikes would have been a 2006 Honda Reflex, 2000, I think it was a 21, 2020 or 21 Tao Thunder 50cc, 2018 Benelli Zaffarano, 2009 Yamaha T-Max 500. Then we had the 2015 Zero S, 2021 Benelli Chiarte 502, 2005 Honda Silverwing. I feel like that should be it. It's like I almost feel like I'm forgetting a bike, but that should be all the bikes that I've had and when my career started and how it all started and all that stuff. So, and then I guess we could say I've never been to a track. I've only been off-road trail riding on a four-wheeler. I did ride my friend's dirt bike real quick, but never for any long distance or through major trails or anything like that. So no racetrack experience, no whatever major off-road experience other than going once or riding a couple times on four wheels here and there and that type of thing. Took the MSF class many years ago, and the test again, I guess, to re-get my license because I didn't transfer it. And here we are. Now it's going to be a long time coming. I will say my hip, I guess I should have said this a long time ago, but I've been kind of slacking on riding for a little bit because they keep on telling me there's going to be thunderstorms in the afternoon. Like every day it's been saying this, and every day has not been rain. So once again, today is the same exact story, but whatever. I'm riding. It's not like I haven't ridden in the rain before. The rain doesn't bother me at all. It's the wind that bothers me. But it's just that they, instead of saying it's going to rain at 4 o'clock, it's like thunderstorms. Like thunderstorms might be a little bit different. Because to me now, riding in rain, the only problem is visibility. I can't see anything because I have glasses as well. So obviously this face shield on the helmet gets a bunch of rain all over it. I can't open it or my glasses will get rain onto it. So you people without glasses, be grateful, because all you got to do when it's raining is open up your face shield. I can't do that. But I decided to forget it. Like, I'm riding anyway, and regardless, even though like my hip, kind of my buttocks hip area has been hurting pretty bad for quite a while now. Week or two, I don't know. It will not go away. It's like deep inside, like feels like something kind of needs to pop, but well, it's another topic. Like, I don't go to chiropractors. I've never been to a chiropractor. I don't trust chiropractors. I won't go to a chiropractor. But this hip pain, like, is pretty bad. And just now, finally, last night and today, like, hard time sleeping because it's traveling all through my leg and everything now, too. Wasn't really doing that before. It was just my hip pain driving me nuts. So I'm in a pretty decent amount of pain, or have been. Because it will not go away, but once again, I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn as an ox, and I want to ride. And once again, thank you for the subscribers. We probably should have some idea of continuing to make videos or have actual ideas in the first place. Because, as I've said in multiple other videos, I will admit, I'm not one thinking about topics or trying to copy other people and just making the same video of another topic of someone else. I don't make scripts. I'm much more of a live, off the cuff type of person. Just talking as we go, talking what comes off my mind. I don't want it to be planned out and whatever, like scripted. I want it to be more real. Same thing with all these recording of these videos. Yet aside from the being broke, another reason why I have not gotten any other cameras or better microphones or any of that type of stuff, just because in my opinion this is more raw, this is more real. Admittedly, the wind noise is obnoxious. I've worked on that forever, like across all of the years. This is, I guess, now that I have this camera with the external microphone, it's a lot better when I had the other camera that didn't have it. Even though I was wearing that the other day when it was raining, and it actually kind of sounded like, how am I still being able to hear myself talk? But anyway, so like that's one of the reasons why I haven't worried so much about getting better cameras or microphones. Like, number one, it's the cost. I don't have the money. But number two, like, I watch, obviously, a lot of other people's videos, a lot of their YouTube and stuff like that. In my personal opinion, comment below what you think, but in my personal opinion, I think my videos, to me, look just as good, or in a way, kind of better. It could be argued both ways. Most of these other people have, like, a lot of these better cameras, so they have more processing and all filters, all that type of stuff, or literal filters that they put on them. But that, to me, once again, is kind of, it's not a true representation of what you would be seeing. Like, when people are filming these and riding around doing all their cameras, admittedly, like I said, it could be argued both ways, because it looks gorgeous, it looks really good. However, it could be argued that it's kind of fake in a way. There's extra saturation, there's extra coloring in there. There's, like, they do like, people that know what they're doing, like, actually try and purposely make these videos look like this. And like, you're looking at, like, the way the light reflects, the way the shadows are, the way everything is, you're not seeing those super vibrant, like, dark greens in real life and stuff like that on some of these trees, or the real dark browns or something. Like, this is more real. It looks more like what you would really see it like in real life. Yes, those other videos look fantastic, but it's kind of fake in a way. It's processed to look closer to perfection, so there's not flaws, and as opposed to now, like, this is what it really looks like. And same thing with the recording as far as the audio goes, I could say. A lot of times I've been watching these videos, and I know they're sitting there, got a microphone, and I know they're recording while they're riding or whatnot, but it sounds like the audio track is coming from a studio. It sounds like it's post-processing, like just recording this audio afterwards. It doesn't sound, once again, like, yes, the wind noise is obnoxious. I hate it. I would like to eliminate it completely. As we get a huge gust, I would like to eliminate it completely myself. But what you're hearing is basically what I sound like. This is me. It's me riding right now, currently in the moment. Whatever the weather is, whatever the outside noise is, it doesn't sound like I'm sitting in an office chair in my studio recording the audio. That one's a little bit of a tiny bit of a stretch, because I would like to have better audio. The visual quality, like, I'm not 100% sold. Like I said, I think this looks a little more real. Some of the other ones look great, but it's kind of fake. As far as the audio is concerned, I could deal with better audio for sure. But there definitely has been times, like I say, where I'm watching other people's videos and it doesn't even sound like, the way they just blend, it doesn't sound like they're writing and talking at the same time. It sounds like they wrote and recorded all their video and whatnot, then went back home and sat in their office and recorded the audio track over it, which I have done before, but I kind of hate doing that, because then you got to deal with the timing, and then then you end up with another extra file on your computer that for a while, like, you can't erase, or I couldn't erase, and whatever. I don't like dealing with voiceovers, so if the microphone decides to crap out while I'm riding or something like that, then whatever, we're just not going to have audio. Something like that. Like, I'm not going to, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to fix it in post-processing unless it's something I feel like there's some nice gravel. Unless it's something I feel like I need to do. So, this was probably a lot longer than it needed to be. No one watches these videos anyway, so thank you so very much if you do, especially if you stick around and stay to the end and watch the whole videos. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. I think what I need out of anything is actual watch time than subscribers. Got to start working on that more so than subscribers. I mean, I'm not monetized, nowhere near, not even close to being that way yet, but watch time would help me a lot more for people to actually watch them. So, as I said, that was, I guess, in a nutshell of how I got here, how I started riding motorcycles, what motorcycles I've been, kind of, I guess, we didn't really mention, but the experience that I have, like I already mentioned about the no racetrack or no off-road riding, it's been predominantly all commuting, and normally not as far as mileage, but now that where I'm living at now, it's a 53, 54 mile an hour trip one way, something like that. So it takes me an hour or so to get there. So now it's got a lot of beautiful time to ride. So this is by far going to be the best riding year, because I'm going to put on a hell of miles this year. So thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And then I guess thumbnails is another thing I'm going to have to work at, but that's another thing that, like, editing programs and stuff keep on changing on my computer. I just used to take a screenshot of the video, like, within whatever, the Windows video player or something a long time ago, but that stopped working. Then they made you use Clipchamp, and then that stopped working, and now I don't really know how to do it on Shotcut very well, other than I did one of them the other day. But anyway, too much babble. Yeah, I know I need to work on thumbnails. I know I need to work on having actual topics to talk about, rather than, like, I record every time I ride. So rather than, okay, let's just use this video for a video type of thing. but it's not like I'm a big time YouTuber. No one comments as to what they want to see, what they like, what they dislike. So I need all that stuff, and it's not like I'm huge or people are waiting for a video. It's more like, oh, surprise, somebody watched my video kind of thing. So yeah, I've had all those bikes. We're riding now. We're going to continue riding forever. I guess as far as the future holds, it's obviously going to have to wait till I have money, because the Benelli's not worth any really money anymore, so I wouldn't get anything for a trade-in on that. I don't know that I really want to sell it anyway. I kind of do, I kind of don't, but I wouldn't get any money for it, so that one's going to be there to stay forever. This one is going to be here to stay probably forever. I'm probably not going to get rid of this thing. Hopefully this one's just not going to bleed me dry like the T-Max. So as far as future bikes, like obviously a Goldwing has always been in the back of my mind. I've always thought about that, but always thinking to myself, they're gigantic, and having one of those wasn't really justified at the time, because I had said I had more like 9-mile or 15-mile commutes and stuff that was not very far. But now I have a long freaking commute, so now it would make a lot more sense to get one of those things. Or I know the dealer always ends up with a lot of used Visions. Those things are another one that's absolutely gigantic, but I don't know. I definitely, who knows what I'm going to get next, but I'm probably going to end up getting more motorcycles at some time in the future. You'll hear about them, you'll see them when I get them. It's probably going to be quite some time, because I'm broke. Got to at least get this van paid off before we start making any more moves. But a Goldwing could be a possibility. Something like, or something DCT. Something like NC 750. Maybe I would be inclined to get that more than a Goldwing. Or CTX 1300. Something like that. I don't know. Get the old, whatever, the camera with the 900cc Yamaha is. Not the Tenere, but there's a, I don't know. We'll see. Used as usual, probably. Most of my bikes has been financed too. So, see y'all later. Thank you for watching and subscribing. I'm just babbling now, so peace.